Get started.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's put this. That's as lightly as I'm going to tap today, I think. Maybe so, maybe no. We'll see. Good morning, everybody. At Commissioners Court, Liberty County, Texas, regular meeting, June 23rd, 2020. It's 9:00 a.m. Call the meeting to order. We do have a quorum established, and let the record show that Commissioner Reeves and Commissioner Wilson are with us by way of Zoom. Also Sheriff Rader, Bill Hugemuller, Captain Knox, and Dwayne Gott, our auditor. And I don't know who the other number is on the corner down there. 832's 191. And out of curiosity, what phone number is that? 1832, and it ends in 191.
That's Steve Goulder.
Okay, mighty fine. Thank you, Steve.
Stephen Goldberg.
He's for what?
He's on the property business.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All righty. At this time, yeah, we got you, Steve. Appreciate you. Let's all rise. We're going to have our pledges and invocation. And Lee, if you would lead us.
Yes, sir. Everyone face the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now face the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
And Clint, if you would, please.
Father, we come to you today, this new day. We ask that you continue to bless Liberty County. We ask that you provide everyone here with wisdom, Father, as we do the business of your people. We ask that you protect the health care of all of our folks, Father. You see the COVID is coming back, Lord. We know that you've got this. We ask you to continue to bless us and our first responders. And all things we ask in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Okay. First item up, consent agenda. I hope you've all had the opportunity to look it over. And Dwayne, we have any add-ons today?
I have quite a few.
Oh, okay.
First thing I have is a budget amendment. I believe y'all got it. It's setting up the fund 2020 CARES Act that Mr. Bush got. Basically, we received $68,041.19 in grant revenue, and he's did a budget amendment to transfer $7,000 in there, and then we're getting another $6608.24 from Chapter 19 money, and we're transferring all this money into this grant fund, and we set up line items for supplies, $25,500, staffing, some voting and communication and training expenses in there. Also, I have an invoice to pay to CCL Banknote Corporation of America for $715.50. It's the county clerk. I have an invoice to pay Texas Police Trainers LLC for $600. It's for Constable 5. And last, I have an insurance bill to pay McGriff, Sibbles, Williams of Texas, $2,344.67. And that's all I got.
Any discussion? Considerations?
I move that we approve the consent agenda with the amendments defined by. Second.
Got a motion to approve the consent agenda with the additions as described by Mr. Gott. Greg, second by Bruce. All in favor, say aye. And Commissioner Reeves, Commissioner Wilson did raise their hands, and that motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 5, consider and approve letter of support for Liberty County to apply for a vote center status for the general election 2020. Clint, that's pretty much what we've been visiting about.
Yes, sir, it is. We have been visiting about this with 2 public hearings 2 weeks ago and this morning. This will complete that process for the state application. After the court approves the letter of recommendation to our office today, hopefully, we will send that letter to the state, to the Secretary of State. They will have it and see what we need to send supplementally and to get this approved for the November election to move Liberty County to vote centers. I ask for your adoption. Thank you.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
A motion from Bruce, second from Greg to approve. All in favor, say aye. And Commissioner Wilson, Commissioner Reeves did raise their hands. That vote is unanimous. 4. That passes. Number 6, consider and approve the submission of the petition to create Emergency Services District Number 8 in Plum Grove, Texas, and order the special election on November 3rd, 2020, for the voters located within the boundaries of the proposed ESD number 8. Now, I think it's worthy that we're moving forward with this because Lord knows you need it. But, ESDs work quite well. But I understand after reading the law pretty much about this, that we can set the date and time. Okay. But we still have to have a public hearing. So we can't order the election today. We can only set the date and time for the election and order a public hearing. That's the way I understood from the Secretary of State. Is that correct, Clint?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. So if there's any comments, feel free to do so.
Judge, I don't think you can set the date for the election without having a hearing.
Okay.
Date and time of the hearing is what you
Can't you set the date and time?
Date and time of the hearing. Okay.
Matthew, do you have any input on that?
No, that's correct. So 775015 says that at the first Commissioners Court meeting after receiving the petition, it's to be brought to the court's attention, and then that hearing date is to be set out. And it's got to be out enough that you have 21 days notice that'll run in the newspapers before that to alert the public.
Okay. So we have a projected date today that we can at least set the hearing for?
I'd say at least a month,
Okay.
kind of to get the newspaper.
Yeah.
Some of the deadlines would get the publication.
Okay.
Judge, tonight, whose responsibility is that publication?
Well, Clint will send the notice to us, then we send it through to the vindicator. Yeah. That's the way I understand it, that we've always done that way. Yeah. Yeah. Some folks just kind of curious about how many people read the vindicator, but there it'll be. It's been there for how many years? Vanessa?
100 and something.
110? Okay.
Yes, for a while.
Okay.
Because it's our official publication.
That is our official publication service, but even for anything through the courts, it all goes through the vindicator.
I feel good knowing Clint's handling it.
I do too. All right.
So do we want to set the date, or can we just, do we have a date, or we can?
I guess we need to look at the closest date to the next Commissioners Court meeting that coincides with 30 days out. Is that your take on it, Matthew?
Yes, yeah. So although you do have to today set the place, date, and time for the hearing.
Well, the place will be here.
That's right.
It will be before court on the date that's closest to 30 days out. So, and it will be at 8:45 a.m. About that.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. You got a date for that?
So 30 days out would be July the 28th would be the next court.
Okay.
So we're looking at July 28th.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Clint, is that okay? July 28th, give you plenty of time?
Sounds good.
Okay. And we will set the hearing, public hearing, July 28th, 8:45 a.m. here in Commissioners Court, Liberty County, Texas.
Matthew,
Yes.
if I remember correctly, we've got an MMD out there, correct?
Yes.
And don't they have some form of emergency district in that MMD? Is it formed, or are they forming one? Or?
They do have some of those powers, yes. Now don't give me a line on the exact delineation, but yes, generally speaking, MMDs have some of ESD power or can.
Okay, how would this affect that MMD?
Well, I'm gonna have to take a look at that. I don't know.
That's probably some of the things we need to clear up in the public meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the delineation.
I can speak for the MMD. MMD is actually has a emergency services plan in place to handle everything that's inside the MMD. And the bulk of this ESD would be property that I own that is included in the MMD.
Yes, ma'am.
Which commissioner?
Jay, who's speaking?
That was Trey Harris back there.
I couldn't hear him.
You have to get a little bit closer, Trey, so Leon can hear you.
My
Yeah, it's right here. Yeah.
My MMD has the rights, and it also has a plan for emergency services inside the district. And so the bulk of the property that's included in this ESD is and or will be in my MMD. So
Will be.
it's a double, basically, my people are already getting taxed for emergency services to pay for emergency services. And so if they were to be included in this ESD, it would just be hitting with a double tax, basically.
What services are being provided?
That's what I'm a property.
Just a minute.
I'm a property owner.
I realize that.
So that was my next question to Matthew was, if there is an MMD and then a ESD is approved, so all those folks in that area is going to be double taxed, correct?
Could be. I would urge, so today, the only thing the court can do is set the date of the hearing. And in fact, the statute says upon receiving a petition, the Commissioner's Court shall set the hearing. So I would urge us not to go too far into the substance of this so that we stray out of open meetings. But this will be well researched, I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
But we have received the petition, correct, Clint?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Judge Knight, I would just like to point out, will be is a future tense, and nothing can be expanded. All the MMDs that can come through the city council of Plum
Jay,
Grove.
could you have him stand up? I can't hear a word she's saying back there, whoever it is.
How are you doing, Mr. Wilson? Sure, it's good to see you. The MMD is not through all of the colonias. It is in certain areas around his commercial point. It was expanded in 2017, but as of date, what I have, the MMD does not go all through every lot in that community. And there may have been some errors on part of Liberty County Appraisal District that included some of the lot owners, but to my knowledge, those are being rectified. Also, if I recall, we all read is it 4431 or 4741? When Ernest Bales, our state representative, put together that legislation, one of the things I do believe he called for was that Mr. Harris was to provide property to, maybe it didn't say Plum Grove, but it was referring to Plum Grove, as Plum Grove has been the one who has taken the blunt of such irresponsible growth And for 10 years, they've been doing it. So as a caveat from your state representative, he offered that Colony Ridge would donate land for a future Plum Grove Fire Department out there. Now, as we said, it's not a charade, it's a debate on what is right and what is the law, Matthew. And we will all reconvene back at the hearing and bring our attorneys to address it.
Right.
And as for the ESD, I'm very for it and very supportive of it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think we're discussing a lot of things that we need to be.
We need to be discussing at a later
So I
date.
make a motion that we set the public hearing for July 28th.
Okay, at 8:45 a.m. Okay. Would that be enough time?
It should. So, we have to have, it says not later than the 21st day before the date on which the hearing will be held. So July 28th, 21 days before that, it'd be what, the 7th. The sheriff shall post one copy of the notice of the courthouse door and also run individually twice, once a week, notice in the newspaper.
I might clarify myself a little bit better. Is that enough time allotted for a public hearing?
Oh, gotcha. Yes.
Okay.
No, that's up to y'all's discretion.
Let's set it for 8:30. That way we have 30 minutes, okay? Because that's the same day that we have a Commissioners Court meeting.
Sure, we can get this done in 30 minutes.
You never know. I mean, wonders have worked around here. Okay. So you want to amend that motion to set that for July 28th, 8:30 a.m. Commissioners Court?
I do.
Okay. Okay, you got a motion for Greg. Second from somebody.
I'll second.
Okay, second from Leon. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Likewise nays. And Mr. Reeves voted no. We have 3 ayes. One nay.
Matthew,
Yes, sir.
okay. This has to be considered, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Once the petition is filed here at the county, the hearing has to be held. The statute says shall, places mandatory burden on the Commissioners Court to have the hearing. Doesn't tell them how to vote, of course, but tells them they have to have the hearing.
Mhm.
It has to be public, and the public has to be notified and given notice in this way.
So,
So with that being said, no matter how this court votes, it still has to be heard, correct?
That's correct. There is, we would be theoretically subject to mandamus for failing to have the hearing after the filing of the petition.
Okay.
All right. So that motion does carry 3-1 vote. And we shall move on. Number 7, consider and approve allowing the sale of fireworks for the 2020 4th of July holiday. And I see Chief Hugger on here today.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
Doing just fine.
All righty. We always cross this bridge around holidays where the fireworks stands are open. And of course, we always talk about the Jim Wilson rule and such, and that even though he's no longer with us, but I think we'll probably call it the Jim Wilson rule forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But what is your take on this today, Chief? And give us opportunity.
I pretty much just stick to the rule. I don't like the fins or the sticks, but I think Matthew, we had a discussion once before about it, and I don't really think we have anything to stand on. We have to provide or allow it. Otherwise, we'll have to provide a place for that to be sold and used. So, Matthew, do you disagree with that?
I haven't checked the drought index, but everything flows from that. If the drought index doesn't support, a complete ban, then yeah.
Correct.
That's where we're at.
So that's where we're at, Judge. We're going to have to do something.
Well, light the fires. Fireworks begin. That will be,
That was her.
it's $5.
I got it.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
That was Leon with the second. Okay. Okay, got a motion Bruce, second for Leon to approve a line sale of fireworks. With all inclusive, with consideration also with the possibility of having maybe a drought condition. We'll cross that bridge, I guess, about 10 days out, which is pretty close to 10 days out. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion, gentlemen. Number 8, consider and approve bids on delinquent tax properties as follows. Bid number 1, Riley and Diana Moss for $6,000. Bid 2, Ms. Pang for $5,000. Bid 3, Elva Tijerina, $4,000. Bid 4, Elva Tijerina for $1,000. Bid 5, Matt Harris for $42,000. Bid 6,
Elva Tijerina.
Tijerina also, okay. Okay. Bid number 7, Stephen Gilder, $559. Bid 8, Stephen Gilder, $321. Bid 9, also looks like Stephen Gilder for $260. Bid 10, Stephen Gilder for $278. And bid 11, Stephen Gilder for, don't see the number,
321.
321 again, okay. Bid 12, Stephen Gilder for 321. Bid 13, Stephen Gilder for $336.
After looking at a lot of this property that's on here today, of course, we're not going to always get what's owed or what the CAD even values it at. But at least this property, we are getting back on the tax roll, bringing taxes back into the county. I'll make a motion to approve all of them today.
I second.
Motion for Bruce, second for Greg to approve. All inclusive. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That vote is unanimous. It does pass. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 9, consider and approve the cancellation of contract with Hardin Volunteer Fire Department. And Chief, I know you're still here with us. I hope you're not muted, but let's look at number 9 on the cancellation of the contract. That's the county contract with Hardin Volunteer Fire Department.
That's correct, Judge. We're canceling their contract. And that's kind of the mutual aid contract that we do yearly. And then the next line item will explain who's going to pick it up.
Okay. All righty. What's the court's pleasure?
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion, Greg, second from Bruce, to approve the cancellation of the contract with Hardin Volunteer Fire Department. All in favor, say aye. Yeah.
So does this in their monthly stipend?
Yeah, that's going to be that we'll cancel their monthly stipend. Pardon me. And Dwayne, what I'll do, I'll need to sit down with you and let you know what we're doing.
All right, that'd be fine.
Saving you money, Dwayne. Okay. Number 10, consider that, by the way, that vote was unanimous, so it therefore passes. Number 10, consider and approve contract for fire services with ESD number 7, and that is the Hardin Area Volunteer Fire Department. And ESD number 7 would therefore take over the contract for services in that area. Bill, you look at it?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
There any discussion?
No, but I move to approve.
Okay. Got a motion from Greg to approve. Need a second.
Jay, did Matthew say he has looked at this contract?
It's the same one as same in substance, different entity, obviously, that we do with all of them. Yeah, I don't have any issues with it. I will point out though that the cancellation under 9, I believe, has a 60-day notice. So, we want to make that line up so we're not double paying necessarily.
Did you get that, Leon?
Yeah, I heard it. Thank you.
Okay. Well, we got a second from Bruce to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion is unanimous. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 11, consider and approve fiscal year 2020 Cooperation Act contract renewal between UTMB and Liberty County. Penny? This is going to be a fun one because we're kind of going back and forth with UTMB, but that's, if you would describe this to us, what we're fixing to do, and it does make sense.
Yes, sir. It's actually just our.
Jane, Jane, could you ask Miss Penny to step up, please?
Come on up a little closer. Here's your microphone right here.
Thank you, Miss Penny.
Hey, good morning. This is actually just one of our renewals. It's the same contract that we've had for the last, 5 or 6 years, but they were very, very late in getting it to us. It was around March that we finally got the renewal, and then COVID put it back even further. So I did give it to our, County Attorney Matt Poston, and he has been reviewing it with me. We did have 2 Liberty County inmates that were transported last week to UTMB. And we really, need to secure a contract with them if we're going to, do that. And they were willing to, under negotiations, accept this contract for those individuals. So I'm recommending that we go forward with it and approve it. So we'll have a contract with them right now, because as of right now, we don't have one because it's so late.
It's kind of an implied contract.
Yeah.
This is more or less functioned like a stop loss too.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It caps our exposure to them.
Right.
To
Right.
60 goods.
Yeah. Yeah. We typically do this by the end of the year. I don't know why UTMB was so late in getting the contracts out, because typically they're on it and we get it done by the first of the year, and we don't have a lapse in our contracts. So, but just for some reason, their administrative contractor, they actually put this on a contractor and not UTMB. So the contracts to all the counties went out late. And then by the time all of us got it in March, COVID hit, and then, it just got slowed down. This contract will expire August of this year, but it will have a year renewal, automatic renewal, when the previous one, I think, had a 2-year automatic renewal. So, but we still have the option to, at each renewal, not accept it, review it and see if that's what we still want to do. So, but as of right now, we're kind of just in limbo with the charges or anybody going down there right now. So.
But to my understanding, this contract we have with them doesn't cost us any unless we use it. And during our bidding for the new jailer, we do have the option to get out of this in August.
Yes, sir. That is correct. Yes. No, it's no cost to us. And it's not something that we're bound that we have to use them as a provider. It's just, you can have several contracts. We have several contracts with different providers, different hospitals, different providers. It's just safeguarding the county in case we were needing to utilize that service. So it's not something we're locked into as far as we have to pay them a certain amount for services, whether they do it or not. It's based on, the services are rendered, and then we pay according to the contract. So it's just something that kind of protects us as far as, knowing what we would have to pay if we sent our Liberty County residents or inmates down there.
Matthew, you happy with the contract?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I second Penny. I believe this is in the county's interest, very much so at this moment.
I'll make the motion we approve.
Second.
Okay. Motion from Leon, thank you.
Thank you.
Second from Greg. to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And the record shows it is unanimous vote for, therefore it passes. Number 12, consider and approve interlocal agreement between City of Dayton and Liberty County, Texas for provision of services mutually beneficial to both parties. Boy, that's an easy one to describe there, man. Okay.
So this is just a renewal of the interlocal we have with Dayton that is just like the interlocals we have with all the cities. Well, it doesn't provide that any specific service or project is being done. It's just a pledge from both parties to come to the table when we identify projects that could benefit one another.
Okay.
Any work done pursuant to this would still have to require yet another interlocal specifically working on that project.
Descriptive of scope and cost. Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion from Bruce, second from Greg to approve. All in favor, say aye. And vote is unanimous. Therefore, it passes. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 13, consider to approve interlocal agreement between the City of Dayton and Liberty County, Texas for the Elections Administrator's Office to use Dayton GIS software as a means for better managing the voter roll addresses. Now, Clint, you want to go ahead and give us a little slight dissertation in this one because it makes sense, because that way you can keep up, especially with especially with the addresses seem to be forever changing.
Basically, yes, sir, it is, versus my office purchasing GIS software that's very expensive. The City of Dayton already has this software, and Theo has agreed to let my office use their software, become a user with their GIS software. That will help us to map our voting precincts. When we do audits of our voting precincts, and we do, say, the city of Kennefic, and see all the voters inside the city to make sure they really live inside the city. If they're outside the jurisdictional boundaries, we'll remove them from the voter roll. It cleans up the voter roll. CARES Act money and Security Act money will pay for this. It's just more cost effective for the county to use its resources that we have.
And I take it GIS software is like a Google software. It's a mapping site.
It is a mapping software. CAD uses it for all their mapping. It's geospatial systems software. I don't know what the I stands for at this time. Any more questions?
This will be an asset for you, right, Clint?
I'm sorry?
This will be an asset for you, correct?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
I make a motion to approve.
All right, got a motion from Leon. Looking for a second. Second from Bruce. All in favor, say aye. And the record show that vote is unanimous, therefore passes. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 14, consider and approve CARES Act grant for Constable Precinct 2 for a Peacemaker software package for 3 vehicles in the amount of $22,950. And I don't see the rest here, but it sounds like a pretty good deal since it's coming out of the CARES Act grant.
They're trying to get locked in.
They're
trying to get locked in.
They are. Okay.
I'm going to make a motion to approve.
Have a motion from Bruce to approve. Second from Greg. Any discussion?
Yeah, we need to make sure when when any department, when they apply or get a grant, that they need to touch base with us over here in the auditor's office, because we have to account for these grants.
Okay. I'll agree. We're probably going to need a coordinator at some point in time on these, especially on the accounting side. Is it, believe it or not, we live off a lot of grants around here. That's just part of the life of a poor county. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. That vote is unanimous, therefore it passes. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 15, consider and approve amendment to contract with Tyler Technologies for increased cost and transition to the new case management system, where Tyler will absorb approximately $150,000 in costs, but where the county pays an additional $50,000 in costs. Well, that sounds like a pretty nice little trade-off for Matthew.
Yeah, the Tyler project has had a number of snags. And I know y'all are aware of a number of those. We've had to order new servers. There have been delays here and there. But at the end of the day, that all of those delays amount to costs to our contractor. Now, they're willing to absorb 3/4 of those costs, 150, so long as we pay another 50. So that's why I'm not happy to do it, but it will be necessary to get this thing across the finish line.
Is this annually or is this a one-time?
No, one time. This is for the conversion process.
So Wayne, do we have this money?
He's
Yes, I'm gonna move some more money into our that fund that was set up for Tyler at the end of this budget cycle. I plan on being able to move that money over there to take care of. It's probably gonna be next year before we spend it, but I'm gonna go ahead and move the money over there this year.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion from Bruce to approve.
Second.
Got a second from Leon. All in favor, say aye. And that vote is unanimous. Therefore, passes. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 16, consider approved bid proposal from Larry Allen Construction Incorporated for Cleveland Annex Courtroom. I believe we're not going to.
This needs to be tabled.
Yeah,
It's not, we don't have all the bids in yet. It was
okay.
put on there prematurely.
Yeah, do you want to table it or take no action?
I'll take no action.
Okay.
Make a motion to take no action.
Second.
Motion Bruce, second from Boo to take no action. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion is unanimous. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 17, consider approved order waiving the requirement that the county judge approve all requisitions for the purchase for supplies and materials. And that is Local Government Code 113.901C. Okay, Harold.
Okay, county judge is required to approve all requisitions before purchase orders are issued, but you can waive it with this section of the local government code. This has been in effect. Y'all passed some in the past. This is just to update it.
Right.
And it says if y'all do the waiver, then it has to be approved in open court, which we do anyway. So,
Right.
Has to be what in open court, Harold?
sorry, what?
It has to be what in open court?
Approved in open court. When the county auditor gives you his list, you're approving it in court.
Okay. I'll make the motion we approve.
Got a motion from Leon, second from Greg to approve. Favor say aye.
Aye.
And that vote is unanimous for, therefore passes. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 18, consider approved bid number 20-08 for asphalt overlay for Road and Bridge number 3. Harold?
Okay, we received 3 bids. It's 5 different roads, but we did a lump sum. I think you have the tabulation. Cowboy Asphalt was $483,815. Angel Brothers, $494,988. And Washburn Paving was $797,191. I assume Commissioner Reed's on.
He's
Yeah,
right.
I looked at it. Make a motion approved Cowboy Asphalt.
What roads are these, Boo?
Do what?
What roads are these?
It's got a list there on them, Leon. It's 624, 6243, 688, and 6881.
Commissioner Reeves with, County Road 678 also included in that?
Yeah, I missed that on there.
What was your motion, Boo?
The awarded Cowboy Asphalt.
Second.
Okay. A motion from Boo, second from Leon to approve contract with Cowboy Asphalt for the services. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Ah, there it is. Yeah. Vote is unanimous, therefore it does pass. Thank you, gentlemen. You don't say it loud in court, it just didn't happen. That's right. Okay. Number 19, consider and approve order giving purchasing agent the authority to extend the date for opening bids when it is in the best interest of Liberty County, local government code 262.026A. Makes sense.
An update of an order that's already been passed by court in the past. And it's been used occasionally. For instance, culvert for this year is getting ready in March when the COVID stuff came up, so I ended it. It just allows me to do that, but I haven't come back to court each time.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Was that Boo?
Yes, sir.
All right, gotcha. Got a motion, Bruce, second from Boo to approve. All in favor, say aye. Okay, let the record show that it was unanimous vote for, before it passes. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 20, consider and approve declaring a 2014 BOMAG BW 11RH-5 as surplus. Must be worn out.
No, on that one, on the next one, you'll see there's a buy board quote.
Mhm.
And I misread this one. Usually they put a trade in at the bottom. They have one 28,129, but it's basically, after talking to the commissioner, it's they're giving them credit for the low hours on the machines. There's not a trade in, so there's no action.
No action on this. Okay. Need a motion, take
Make a
no
motion
action.
to take no actions on item 20.
Second.
Motion from Bruce, second from Greg. Take no action. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That vote is unanimous, therefore passed. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 21, consider to approve purchase of a BOMAG pneumatic roller from RB Everett through the buy board contract number 597-19 for $90,929, less a trade-in of a 214 BOMAG for $28,129. Net cost is $62,800.
Now, again, that trade-in
It's actual hours.
is a discount because of the hours on the machines. Is what I'm purchasing mainly for the roads on the natural gas pipeline company that's coming through. We're having to do about 8-9 miles of road that our own machine is just, don't think it's gonna hold up.
Is 401 going to be on?
Yes, sir, it is. Sure is.
Glad to hear that.
101, 401, 1051, 1050. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Bruce, second from Greg to approve. All in favor, say aye. Let the record show the vote was unanimous for, therefore it passes. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 22, consider and approve renewal of warranty for the Rapiscan X-ray screening machines. That's downstairs on the west end that we all walk through every day. Harold?
Okay, we had, I received this from Rapiscan to, I guess it's been a year, to do the warranty again for a year. It's $4,620. But after I put it on the agenda and started looking at it a little more closely, they only have one of the machines on here. We have two. So I contacted them. They had, for some reason, they had one of the machines at a different date. We got them at the same time. So they want to correct that. It'd be $46.20 for each machine.
How much do these machines cost us? You?
I can't remember. It was a lot.
So we're paying $8,000 a year, basically.
Yeah.
$9,000.
I think it's like a 24-hour call or whatever. So it's up to y'all.
Yeah.
You can look at it a little more closely. You want to table it or?
I would like to table this and look at other options on this. Do we have enough time before the next court date? Will it expire by that time or?
Then Yeah, it's effective June.
Ooh,
We're already a little behind on it.
I just feel it's a lot of money on, every year for warranty on brand new machines.
Well, the first two of it, 4,600 wasn't bad.
Yeah. I still would make a motion to table this.
Harold?
Yeah.
Harold?
come up a little closer here.
Hey, Harold, you say the warranty goes out to end of this month?
No, first of this month.
First of this month. So as of now, we're not under warranty.
Warranty on both machines right now.
Okay, what is right off the top of your head, what's the average cost on one of those machines?
I don't remember. It's been a year. I can't remember a month.
I was thinking it was like $10,000, $11,000 when we bought them a piece.
Commissioner Wilson?
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's Knox. I'm looking at the invoice when the quote was done in 2000, and I believe this is the final figure, August 6, 2018. Looks like each machine was $17,732 a piece.
Thank you, Billy. What's the warranty gonna run, Harold?
The 4,620 per machine.
How much?
4,620
Per machine, so we're looking at.
And I'm sure they would, if we have problems, they will do it on a per job basis. I can find out how much that is.
What, Harold, what's the length of the warranty?
A year.
1 year?
Yeah.
Kind of seem like they're the only phone company in town.
Kinda.
It just seems $8,000-9,000 just seems a lot per year to. Have we had any problems? Does anybody know of any problems we've had out of these machines since we bought them?
Well, roughly, it's a little under 10,000 a year,
Yeah.
For a warranty on both.
Well, it's a lot of money, but I really wouldn't want to be without one for a period of time.
Well, we're already out of warranty right now. I mean, I'm just wanting to table it to give us enough time to do a little bit more research on whether there's somebody else out there that can warranty these. What kind of warranty we're looking at, just a little bit more information and put it on the next court.
Harold, do you know if there's other companies out there that might warranty these machines for us?
I have no idea. That's fine to say.
Okay, I'm gonna second Bruce's motion.
All right. Got a motion, Bruce. Second of Leon to table this until the next court. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That vote is unanimous, therefore it passes. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 23, consider approved budget amendment for engineering department that will allow them to move $7,000 from consulting engineer to a new line item, environmental testing. Approved, the appropriate paperwork will be filed with the auditor. Then the assignment of an open purchase order to East Texas Laboratories in Cold Springs would be the next step. And David, you want to move forward with this, or you?
No, sir. We're going to ask you to take no action on this today. I got with Dwayne and we've got it all worked out.
Okay. All right.
Make a motion to take no action.
Got a motion, Bruce, second Greg, to take no action. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Likewise, nays. That motion is unanimous, therefore passes. Thank you. Number 24, consider and approve proposal for grant administrative services. Only one received from GrantWorks. Imagine that.
Yes, sir. We published this in the Vindicator for 2 issues. We also contacted a half dozen grant administrative firms by email and gave them an invitation, and we only received 1 response back, and that was from GrantWorks. So we're going to recommend to you at this time to enter into an agreement with GrantWorks.
Grant Works is who we're using now.
That's who we're using right now. Yes, sir. And we'll move forward. The GLO grant cycle requires that we be ready to submit our applications for funding by October the 1st of this year.
Are you happy with the work we're getting on the grant?
We're very happy, and so is the auditor.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Bruce, second from Leon to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, let the record show that that was unanimous vote for, therefore it passes. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 25, consider and approve final plat for Hidden Estates, Section 2. That's in precinct 3, but it's like south of 105 or right at.
Yes, sir. It's located on 301 South, just north of where 1008 intersects 321. And this is the second phase on that. These lots are running from 2 to 5 acres. And we have an agreement with the developer that he lift those lots up or lift the building pad up 2 feet above the height of the road in that area. And that's just a precaution that we worked out with this developer. The same people that are doing Encino Estates are also doing Hidden Estates.
Right.
So you're looking at about 11 lots here, and they're small in number, but large in size.
Okay. Now, I remember we had a meeting with the developer and with the school superintendent as well.
That's correct.
And with Commissioner Reeves, yourself, and me. Okay.
LJA has reviewed this set of documents, and they have given an approval letter, and it is contained in your information.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I just had a real quick question. Anything that's coming developed in my area brings a major concern. Are there detention ponds on that plat? Is there erosion control? We've been, struggling here as a community. We're asking, just so you know, quality of life, not quantity. And I keep telling everybody, everything that looks good on paper doesn't look out in the field. Water comes south. So I'm asking, is there detention ponds, retention ponds? Is there erosion control, SWIP? This has been a major concern in our area because there's no rules, no regulations that are being followed. And when I say they're not being followed, trust me, they're not being followed because I've been doing my research.
Well, I beg you differ. And I will say this, if they've been reviewed by LJA, which is an accepted engineering firm with your group as well as ours.
LJA has the Kingwood litigation that they end up not calculating correctly the gravity flow, the volume of the water, the rainfall, the Atlas 20. That's why they have all these major lawsuits in Kingwood. It's
What are you talking about?
LJA is right now not very.
What are you talking about? You talking about this?
I'm saying, you guys are telling me LJA is looking and reviewing these documents, but when you go on public record, you see they're under litigation with Perry Homes because they're not calculating drainage correctly. So what happens? Water comes south.
What does that have to do with this particular
But what
project?
I'm saying is LJA is not reputable. Look at their complaints. Look at their complaints. They have not calculated the water flow correctly. How do we know if LJA did the correct on this? It's only a question.
Jay, have her step up.
Leon can't hear you.
Morning.
Good morning.
Is in general, when we're dealing with LJA, if they have an issue, whether it's in Harris or in Austin, if they have an issue, they have an issue. They have a very bad record right now. It's been going on for 3 years that they end up calculating the water flow from the Atlas 20 and the gravity flow and the ditches and everything. They were not subdivided correctly.
Let me ask you a question, ma'am. Where do you live?
I live in Harris County, but I own property, so in precinct 3. I live
Your property is located, where's your property located?
in precinct 3 and by Plum Grove,
I'm sorry?
by Plum Grove, south of this project.
Okay. So you're complaining.
So I'm just trying to get.
Let me ask you a question. you're complaining about some flooding issues down off the south end of Carter Loop Road, and your property is way up in Plum Grove, correct?
No, sir. My property is in just west, it's just east of 1010. Water comes south. Water comes south, so I'm south of it. That's my main concern. What people don't realize, bringing 2 feet up on elevation, that means you're getting a stronger gravity flow of water. 2 feet, 24 inches? Wow, what's the benchmark? It should be on the plan. What's the benchmark? You guys don't have no idea?
Judge, her property's not south of this proposed subdivision.
Water comes south. I'm trying to get quality of life here. I'm trying to get quality of life here. I'm not asking for quantity, I'm asking for quality for the community. Water comes south. I've asked.
Okay, once again, I'm asking you, you say your property is on 1010?
It's east of there.
It's east of 1010?
Yes.
Okay.
Water comes south. We got the east.
And you just indicated to me that water flows south, correct?
Water could flow depending how high the project is, what creeks, what ditches. It depends. The way everything's cut up out there.
From what I understand, this property, this development is south of where you live or where your property is at.
What I'm saying is you guys keep signing off on plats and we're not doing what's correct here. That's what I'm saying. Whether if it's southeast, we're all going to be affected by it. That's what nobody understands. Whether if it's us, whether it's Harris, whether it's Montgomery, we're all going to be affected by it if the water is not running.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, your problem is your problem with LJA, is that what?
No, my problem is I'm not getting quality of life to move back there, and I'm not going to move back and get contaminated. All I'm asking is Liberty County quality of life. As American or an immigrant, everybody has that right, quality of life. Quantity, no, quality. When I retire, which I already did, I was supposed to put my house there and live a clean, safe environment, which I have not received. Okay, that's why I have not started building. I have a lot of issues back there. And I'm asking you guys because Liberty County's signing off on all this stuff.
Okay, time out.
We've got an engineer, we've got 2 engineering companies that approved it.
Okay,
Okay?
that's fine.
And if you want to bring an engineering company in here that can contest what we already have, then we're listening to.
That's fine. That's fine. Next meeting.
You have an engineer of record. Okay, he's the one responsible. I'll put it in this category. What if you're sitting in the Astrodome? I mean, it's been closed for a long time, but what if you're sitting in the Astrodome and the roof falls in on you? Who gets the blame? Is it the county?
Well,
No, it's not the county.
I know it's not the county.
It's the engineer of record.
But still, what looks good on paper as I do my job, I evaluate what I'm signing off on. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to fail at my job. Whether it's the engineer, the surveyor, or the homeowner, I don't want to fail at my job. I want to know I protected my county, my people, because we hired you guys when we voted for you. So I'm asking for quality, not quantity.
I still don't understand what your complaint is.
Thing is that
I know you're saying quality of life and
raising 2
what is
feet.
the complaint? What is the complaint about this small subdivision?
Everybody wants to build up on low land. 2 feet's not going to rectify water. It's going to push water quicker. You got a higher flow of gravity. That's what I'm saying. Water is going to affect all of us. It's going to affect our neighbors. It's going to affect all of us. All of us.
David, was the entire property raised 2 foot or just the
Just the
pads?
homes.
Just the
homes.
pad site.
So it's not going to increase it, none. Because we're not raising the land itself,
So
just
is
the
it gravity
pads.
flow ditches? Or detention ponds? That's what I asked. Detention ponds.
Let me say. this.
Retention ponds.
LJ Engineering at this point in time has been tapped by the state of Texas to do a major water study for a 12 county region, $25 million worth. They gotta know what's going on. And also, Alan Sims is one of the best engineers I've ever seen.
Hydrologist.
in dealing with water and drainage.
You're welcome for me introducing to you.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Appreciate
So
you.
welcome.
You bet.
They're good engineers like they, Lee.
Well, I think everybody is capable of making errors, but to Mrs. Savita's point to give an example, since Leon, can you hear me or do I need to get loud?
Step on up.
On Paul Campbell Loop.
Hey, Lee, come on up.
On Paul Campbell Loop, where you built up homes, allowed Colony Ridge's owner, Camden Homes, to build up homes. We have 2 homes that made it through 1994 and Harvey and never flooded. And now because you allowed them to raise the homes, we have an 80-year-old retired veteran nurse whose home floods every time it rains 2 inches. Now, Jay, back to your point. She's the Astrodome. She's inside of it. Whose fault is it that her home is flooding?
Could be the engineer record.
Or could be y'all for approving those homes. Could be David. Could be Camden Homes. I mean, again, this isn't the Astrodome. This is an 80-year-old woman. When you build these homes up, there's going to be a chance they're going to flood. Is that going to create more water on the roads? And I really don't care what Encino Estates does. I'm just saying Mrs. Vito has a point. And if you don't believe it, the next time it rains here this week, go out and visit Miss Snyder. She's 80 years old, veteran, nurse. Her home did not flood during Harvey. Her home flooded the first time on May 7th of 2019 after the new homes, Camden Homes, came in and flooded it. It's called gravity flow, sheet flow. I have lots of videos of it if you'd like to see it going in her front door. So maybe we should address some of the issues you've already created.
Just
I think
clearing
before
of
we go
land
forward.
would create the same.
Yeah, so what's created is filling up the lot. You can come down and look, Bruce. I don't know how long it's been since you've been in Plum Grove, but I'd be happy to give you a tour when it rains and let you see exactly how it does sheet flow. And when that sheet flow happens, and then all that water gathers up, like on May 7th, guys, that wasn't a real storm, was it? That was just 10 inches in about 4 hours. How many water rescues did you do that day, Chief?
2.
And so you did a couple, what? One of them was a bus.
Yep.
One of them was a bus. So yes, you do cause problems. I mean, those homes may not flood, but that school bus that's trying to get those kids home, it may go underwater. And I'm not, Adam Simmons is a great engineer. But if you guys aren't out there after the fact looking, I mean, I noticed Leslie Gomez, you put in a culvert, she's quick to be out there. But when Ms. Snyder's home is flooding from Camden Homes, she's nowhere to be found. So guys, Ms. Avito's point, from what I'm understanding, is are you out there actually looking at what you're creating? And water does go south. I think we all know that, don't we? It's all headed to Galveston Bay.
And on 3470, they have this huge ditch, it looks like a landing strip, and I'm trying to get the plat for to research it, which somebody tried to take my easement that's 60 foot in the back that caused this problem. I'm going in for a conservation easement for all me and my 19 lots. I already have my attorney working on it because I'm not going to sit here and want to get in an airboat when I'm retired. I'm just being honest here. Quality, not quantity.
I mean, and right now in our area, I mean, I hope that the infrastructure is better there. And Judge, I hate it when you say it's the best infrastructure in the county, because when I'm getting out water samples that
Time
are
out.
full of sewage.
I'm gonna clarify something on that. Were you there to hear the conversation with me and Ken Burns? Oliver Burns, I get Burns.
Oh, yeah,
mixed up with the
there's a
Civil
bunch
War
of them
guys.
doing reports right now.
Yeah, he took it completely out of context. I said,
Okay.
compared to previous developers in Liberty County, it's the best I've seen, and that is
You
true.
told me Plum Grove. You told me on the phone, I was referring to Plum Grove, Mr. Knight, yes or no?
Your Honor,
But we have to look at the
Now you're saying
conditions.
changing the
And
story.
David, you allow these things to happen and you give it approval. They go to you, David, you're the man. You're the one that says approve it or don't approve it. That's your job.
And that's based on.
And now, and you know for a fact that you've seen engineers, both of you have seen the record, that when Mr. Harris's engineer presented, and don't let me be correct, it was ranked one of the Santa Fe's, is that I did exactly what you said to do, Greg, as a city, and it cost me an election. I went out and hired the same people that you have now, LJA, Adam Sims. That good guy. You know what he did? He looked at what Louis Bergman had approved and found 16 things out of code. 16, stormwater drainage being one of them. Remember, Greg, I presented you with the letter. And these are after your engineer had looked at it. So please don't sit up here and just think because you have an engineer that tells you it's okay. If the builder and the developer don't adhere to it once it's approved, it doesn't really matter. So when I sit here and I tell you that on a plat that was submitted, that was approved by this county, and they told us everything was done right, go back, Denise, and check your record. It was somewhere around June 2015.
Okay, we're
And I
talking about generalities.
We're not talking about generalities. We're talking about that your court approves things that are inefficient and pass it off as accurate. And we had to hire LJA to come in, and they found 12 things in Liberty County that were out of code that you had allowed, and 4 things, no, they were not. To my knowledge, none of it's ever been corrected.
One at a time.
And so, guys, I'm not going to say that LJA is a bad engineer. They're my engineer, and I know a lot of work they do. But what I'm telling you is it doesn't mean they're always correct. And right now, where we stand, you just told, I would love to bring some forensic engineers in here. But right now, can y'all find all the plats to all of the communities? Because, I mean, this is something that I'm having an issue with. I mean, how could we even verify that it's, you know, and they were done correctly? Because you are missing some plats, aren't you, David?
That's correct.
Okay, and you're missing lots of plats, because the reason I know this is it's affecting a hydrology study that we're trying to do for a washout that's been gone for almost 3 years now. We can't repair that washout that is a hurricane evacuation route because Colony Ridges mess with the FEMA flood map so much back there, and your county does not have documentation on it, so LJA can't even get the proper information in order to provide us with that hydrology study. Last that I was told is that FEMA has reached out to Colony Ridge, Trey Harris, and asked could they please provide something on their drainage.
I went to land plan, and land plan told me that their plat, oh, it was wrong, I'm sorry.
So it would be great to be able to come in here and pull the information, David, but it's not on file here with the county. That should be very odd.
I don't understand what this has to do with the.
We're going south, Leon.
It doesn't, what I'm asking you, give me a minute, okay? What I'm asking you, I don't understand what this little subdivision of what, 10 homes, David?
Yeah, it's 11 lots.
11 lots has to do with what's going on in Plum Grove.
Clean the ditches.
Well, Leon, you tell me. I think it has a lot to do with what's going on in Plum Grove. If you continue the same practices that you've allowed in Plum Grove, and when you raise up homes and they're going to flood the streets, isn't it true the water's going to go on to
Let me ask you a question, Leanne. When your paycheck is not qualified to do hydrology studies or law, okay? Who do you rely on? You rely on
LJA.
I'm asking you a question, Leanne. Do you rely on your attorney to give you the proper advice?
Anti-SLAPP law, tell him, that's what, the anti-SLAPP law.
Well, Leon, I don't.
I'm asking you a question, Leanne.
Of legal advice to answer your question. I will take into consideration the information that my attorney did me, and then I will apply it literally in the field. So no, I mean, yes, I do get a lot of legal advice, but does that mean that I agree with them? No. Does that mean I'm always going to do what they tell me to do? No. And when this county can't provide us with plats, on plats that you approved, Leon, plats you approved. You've been here.
Correct, David?
Excuse me?
Yes, sir, we are missing some plats. However, we put a new process in position. All plats that are reviewed by LJA now are stored electronically.
Well, that's brilliant. After you've allowed 35 square miles to be developed and you can't find the plats on them. Brilliant. I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you, David. Missing plats in the county. That's what we don't like, guys.
That's enough. All right. Let's set it down.
I move to approve.
Got a motion from Greg. Second from Boo to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And let the record show the vote was unanimous. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 26, consider to approve final plat for Santa Fe subdivision section 7. Again.
I'm almost scared to bring this one up.
No, don't ever be scared.
Don't be afraid, David. That's how we got here now.
Yeah. Final plat. Santa Fe section 7. This is the extension of the other 6 Santa Fe's that are working up there. All the plans, all the construction documents, everything has gone to LJA. Included in your packet is their approval letter. So we're going to recommend to you today that we go ahead and do the final plat for Santa Fe Section 7.
Did you send the soil report from the water report with the
Make a motion to
5,000
approve.
water to the Lucy Byatt?
Ms. Osmond, you haven't been recognized.
It's okay.
Good.
It's all right.
Good. Got a
Because
motion
I'm not
for,
going anywhere. I'm retired. I have to sit here every day, all day.
got a motion from Bruce, second from Boo to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Let the record show that it was unanimous. Passes. Number 27, consider and approve draw number 1, GLO housing buyout. Grant Works first pay request in the amount of $110,282.25.
David, is this, we're working on our GLO money and our,
Yes, sir. This is the GLO buyout project that's taking place up in Precinct 2. And this is their first draw against what their services are. And just as a matter of information, last Tuesday and Thursday, representatives from Grant Works were in my office and we set them up and they did intake there for 2 full days. And so they will be coming back to.
Maybe get some response.
They did. Right now, we've got about 16 property owners that have signed up for buyout. And we got $5.9 million to get that done. And so we should be in good shape. We're thinking we're probably going to get somewhere around maybe 25 to 30 buyouts for the money we have. So we're going to ask you to approve this payment and move forward with this program.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion from Boo, second from Greg to approve. All in favor, say aye. Show that is unanimous vote, therefore it passes. Number 28, consider and approve pay request in the amount of $59,569.02 from T. Johnson Industries for work that's being done on the Hull fresh water service sewer treatment.
2 years ago, Liberty County fronted a grant for the city of Hull. And the Hull Freshwater Supply District, their wastewater treatment facility was extremely damaged in Hurricane Harvey. And T. Johnson was tapped to do this work. This is their first draw for construction expenses. And this is a Texas Department of Agriculture grant.
Yeah.
make a motion to approve. Okay.
Motion from Bruce, second from Greg to approve. All in favor, say aye. Let the record show the vote was unanimous for it, therefore it passes. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 29, consider and approve draw number 2 request, the amount of $40,903 for the Hull Freshwater District grant project for engineering and grant administrative services. Also with the Grant Works, no doubt.
Same deal on that. No, this is public management.
Oh, okay. Again,
Of that amount, $33,903 goes to LJA Engineering for grant for engineering work that they've done on this project. And that continues to be ongoing. And public management, their draw this time was $7,000. I think they've got $8,400 left and the project will be finished. So we're going to ask you today to approve this pay request in the amount of $40,903.
got a motion from Bruce, from Greg. Second from Bruce. To approve, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Let's vote show that unanimous, therefore it passes. Thank you, gentlemen.
Your Honor, I believe that finishes me up.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, David.
Number 30.
Thank you, David.
Consider and approve request from the city of Kennefic and residents for County Road 646 for assistance from Precinct 4 for repairs of their roadway. Leon, you got anything on there? That's your neck of the woods.
This is just a request, Judge, under the interlocal working agreement that we have to help kind of fill some potholes on that road for them.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. Got a motion, Bruce, second from Greg to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Records show that unanimous vote, therefore it passes. 31, consider and approve resolution of adoption of amendments to Liberty County game room regulations. Boy, this has been a long time coming.
Yeah. So there were some minor issues in the first round that we passed. Namely, or most importantly, the fee was too high that we were charged for the application. So we reduced that back down to what's in compliance with the statute, and I would ask for its adoption.
We changed the wording and everything, get Harris County thing out of that.
Yeah, there was one Harris County, or cities used it or something. Yes.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. Motion from Bruce, second from Greg to approve resolution adoption amendments for Liberty County game room regulations. All in favor, say aye. Let the record show that the vote was unanimous, therefore passes. Number 32, consider and approve the term of 2 ESD number 2 board members. One will be Johnny Slack and the other is Clayton Nugent for a 2-year period.
Yeah, move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Greg, second from Leon to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Record show the vote was unanimous, therefore passes. I just need a motion to adjourn. Got that from Bruce. Second from Greg, all in favor to adjourn, say aye.
Bruce, get out there and politics.